to apologize to the American people, but that'll never happen. Because he's nuts. You know, they talk about the president being mentally ill. I think Jim Acosta is mentally ill. They talk about the president being a racist. Well, I think Acosta must be a bigot. They call the president Hitler. Well, what about Acosta? What about all the people on the left, in the media, in the Democrat Party, and all the rest? Well, you want to talk about the rules for the media? You know what the media is thinking about and talking about right now? I shouldn't say the media. I should say CNN. Although much of the media follow suit with their stupid amicus briefs. I want you to hear this fat slob who goes by the name of Carl Bernstein. Now, Carl Bernstein was of the lounge act, Woodward and Bernstein. You may have seen them sort of tap dancing across the liberal stage. But Carl Bernstein really is a stupid man, and he kind of was hanging on Woodward's coattails in order to get that Watergate gig. And it's not like Woodward had to do a hell of a lot of work. It was the deputy FBI director that was feeding him vast majority of the information on the criminal investigation. Anybody could be a reporter under those circumstances, but that's another issue. I want you to hear Carl Bernstein on CNN yesterday suggesting that the media should censor the president. And the media should determine what's news and edit what the president says by taping his press conferences and not running them live. Cut 6, go.
We need to start thinking of a different way to cover his press conferences and briefings. For instance, I don't think we should be taking them live all the time and just pasting them up on the air, because they're basically propagandist exercises, because they are overwhelmed by his dishonesty and lying. So how could we cover them differently? Maybe we should be there, edit, decide as reporters what is news, and after the press conference or briefing is over, then go with that story with clips.
This is a big deal, what he's saying. I know you're cringing in anger, but it is a big deal. It gives you insight into how fools like this think. He's a reporter, so-called, right? What is better news than a live event, a presidential press conference? But he's saying, no. Because the president is a propagandist and a liar, we in the media have to take the actual news of what he's saying and edit it and decide what is our view of the news with our liberal values, what our priorities are. You heard him say it effectively, didn't he? That's how they normally cover the news. So here we have one part of CNN going into federal court demanding that their guy needs a hard pass or it's a violation of freedom of the press. Then we have this other part of CNN that is saying, no, he should get a pass. We, after all, are self-proclaimed reporters, and we have a right to be wherever we want, whenever we want. However, we will also determine what is actual news. And because we despise this president, because we oppose this president, because the vast majority of us are Democrats and liberals or pretend independents, he's a liar. Did any one of these fools ever call Barack Obama a liar when he was lying through his teeth on health care and we all knew it? When he was lying through his teeth on immigration and we all knew it? In fact, the congressman stood up and accused him of it at one of his State of the Union addresses. In fact, one of the major tenets of being a progressive, a statist, is you must lie about things. Free health care, free college, tax the rich. That'll take care of everything. It's a major tenet of progressivism and statism. They lie all the time about things that are impossible. Things that are impossible. And they lie all the time about people who are in their way. Well, that guy's a racist, that's for sure. That guy's deplorable. That guy's stupid. Go ahead.
treating the briefing or press conference as a campaign event, which they really are, and which we did in the campaign as well. We gave them all this free airtime on cable news especially. We need to start treating it like a news event. And look, in cable, we have websites. We can put up the total press conference on our website so that everybody has the chance to see it, or the briefing, and we ought to, and it's a matter of record, and we can be the place of record so everybody can see every word if they want it. But we need to start editing.
But not on cable, you see, folks. We have to edit, we have to censor, we have to rejigger, we have to change the whole thing. Now, what if the President of the United States took that position? You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to have one camera in the press room. My camera. And we will record my press conference. And when it's over, we will edit it. And we will put the information out that we want to put out that we think is news. No, that's a First Amendment violation, freedom of the press. Did he not just say that's what he wants to do? But we're not the government, ladies and gentlemen. TV press conferences began under Dwight Eisenhower. That's exactly what he did. They recorded the press conference. They edited it, and they put out the clips that they thought were newsworthy. Because here's the point that I keep making. The purpose of a presidential news conference is not to entertain the media. The purpose of a presidential news conference is not to inform the media. The purpose of a presidential press conference is to inform the American people. What Bernstein is proposing will not inform the American people. It would be edited. Things would be censored. Just because he has determined as a liberal Democrat that the President of the United States is campaigning doesn't mean that his view should win the day for the entirety of the nation. Notice he doesn't say those things when Democrats are president. He had a hate-on for Nixon. He had a hate-on for Reagan. He had a hate-on for both Bushes. He has a hate-on for Trump. But he loved Obama, as did most of the media, and they still do. And Obama lied all the time. And so now they're talking about censoring the president, the free press, about censoring the president. This is why we as a nation, we as a people, this is our country. It's not Mr. Bernstein's to run. It's nobody's to run. It's ours. This is why we need to take a close look at what the media in this country are doing. Not for government interference. We are the true constitutionalists. We don't tinker with the Constitution. They do. We need to take a close look at the media in this country. What it is that they're doing. Because it is my position that they throw around freedom of the press and they attack Trump with it, not because they really fear about freedom of the press. Are you kidding me? We got more knuckleheads in the media than we've ever had before, saying the dumbest things in the world. Nobody stops them. They've abandoned any so-called professional standards. They omit information. They bring in the biggest goofballs in Congress they can possibly think of. Professors you never heard of that call somebody racist or mentally ill. They bring in John Dean to talk about ethics, for God's sakes. Not like there's a problem with the media access to the American people in this country. We've never seen anything like this before. The problem is with the people that populate the media. Their ideology, their motivation, and their purpose. Whether the president's running for president or not is none of Mr. Bernstein's business. It's a presidential press conference. Nobody needs to show up if they don't want to. They're in court demanding that they be allowed to show up. But look what they're demanding. that they not only be allowed to show up, but they be allowed to censor and edit what takes place in that room. And they shouldn't cover